Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about assisting, sashikomi, and sending signals. Now, if you're new to this concept, assisting is actually intentionally letting your players meld with your discards. So for example, you know that he wants certain tiles, you intentionally discard it for him to open the hand to speed up that player's hand. As for sashikomi, it will be very similar to assisting. It's just that sashikomi refers to dealing in. Sending signals is a new term that I coined out myself. I'm not sure what is the actual term that should be used for this. Is that you intentionally tell your opponent what tiles you need or what tiles you are waiting for. I have this game with me now where I am currently in first place. I am 4,300 points above second place. That means I cannot afford to deal in anything more than 5,200 and above. I can also choose to win any kind of hand. Alternatively, to secure this first place, I can afford to feed up to 3,900 to any players, except the second player. Now, one of the first condition that you need to think of when applying assisting or sashikomi is that your hand need to be relatively bad. So if you look at this hand, this is pretty much like a 5 shantian hand. And it's not clear cut that this is a hand that you can go for Tan Yao. I mean, yes, you only have one S to discard it, but you still have very unstable sets like your lone 2P or your lone 8P. So this is a very good condition for you to start thinking about how do you assist Shimocha to win a cheap hand so that you can secure your first place. Otherwise, second place is going to win this hand, or if Oya manage to win a big hand and overtake you, when assisting or sashikomi, you have to be careful that you do not do that to Oya. Because if you let Oya win, the game continues. And sometimes Oya hand can be very big and overtake you. So this is a very ideal situation where Shimocha is a player that you want him to win. Now let's walk through together how this hand should be played. So of course from turn 1, you have no information, you try to win your hand. You might get lucky with your draws. So you need to think about assisting once there is some information that is revealed. So let's proceed with normal tile efficiency discarding. From here, you can see Shimocha has made the first call, and this is very important because this will give you a lot of information what Shimocha is trying to do. This Pong 9S, there are two reasons. One is Atozuke Yakuhai or Honitsu, or sorry, maybe a third reason is Chanta. Most of the time, you always try to recognize a cheaper Yaku first because from a Shimocha's perspective, there is no reason for this player to push towards an expensive hand. And here, we get to see that he actually discarded 6-4P right from the start. This is not such a good news because it looks like he's going for Honitsu. I discarded 9S, and I know that it's different from the previous discard because at this point in time, I've already decided that I have to try to assist. But I'll just need to wait for some information. I'll keep this 1S as a safe tile from Dueler. Here you see that Shimocha discarded Tong, which is a bit weird that for Honitsu to started discarding Honor so quickly. But let's keep this as reference first. At this turn, I just discarded 1S first to see whether I can still move towards a Tan Yao while I still wait for more information from Shimocha. Now Shimocha Teidashi a 2P. This means that he actually still trying to hold lower Pinzi. This 2P to him is actually more important than a Tong. That means that he may not be on Honitsu, he may be on Chanta. And here, you get to Pong the Haku and discard 9M. So it's very clear now that he's not doing Honitsu. He's holding 2P and 9M over a Tong. So this is more on Chanta. Once I look at this 9M, right, every time a player calls, there is a very high chance that he has the tile around the tile that was discarded. So in this case, a 9M was discarded after a Haku Pong. He will have upper Manzi. So what's the next thing you should do here? Is to discard 8M. See whether he get to Chi or Pong this 8M. So as planned, he get to Chi this 8M. And drop a Sha. At this point, he's probably Tenpai because Sha is actually a universal safe tile. It's already the third copy. You have assisted quite a bit. you can either let him win off from other players or you deal into him. So to assess whether you should do Sashikomi, you have to assess the hand value of this player. His hand now is on just Yaku. Can he have 2 Doras? Possible. If he has 2 Dora and you deal in, what is the tile that dealing will become a Mangan? It will be 2 9p and somewhere around with Akka. Therefore, you must not discard any Akka related tile, just in case he's on 9p 9p and some Akka. So let's give him the highest value now, which is 2 9p, right? Which is at 3.9k. There is no Sozu discarded so far, and therefore let's put him on waiting on some kind of Sozu. So the only Sozu you cannot throw now here is that the Sozu that will form a Akka 5S. So no 4S, no 6S, no 7S, no 3S. 5S is also a little bit dangerous. He can be on 9p 9p, 5S 5S. So I choose to discard 2S here. Basically, you need to just drop some Sozu. If it's 2S, you hit a Ramen, he's only able to win off 3.9k maximum. And he failed. Toyman discarded none, and Shimocha actually pong. Now his hand is 2 Han. And what is he going to discard? Remember, the tile he's going to discard next, he will have a surrounding tile. And he discarded a 1S. Now, if he has 1S here, what is his other tile will be? It will only be 1 2S or 1 3S. But he did not win the 2S previously. That means his only possible hand will be 1 2S. And therefore, he's waiting on 2S. Therefore, at this point in time, you should be very happy because you can even pinpoint his tile. And you should discard the 2S now, because it will only be a maximum of 2.6k here.
No.
And this is how you secure your first place by dueling in. Lose the battle, win the war. The move that Pong Nan discard 1S is actually a very, very good move to avoid last. However, I think this is rather a fluke move that is done by this player who has no intention of sending any signals. So let me go through with you about sending signals now. First of all, when you want to send signals, that means that you want your Kamicha to assist you. If you want your Kamicha to assist you, you have to tell your Kamicha that your hand value is very low. So with this starting hand, you should only care about Pong Nan or Pong Haku. Just one of them will do. And the very first time you should not discard is actually 6p. Because right now you are trying to show that you are on Honizu. So I think this player is blindly chasing after value even though he doesn't need it. He only need to win 1k to avoid last. So in the end, because he's actually chasing after Chanta, that's why he's discarded in this manner. So in any normal situation, let's say 6, 7, 8M, one of the tile is Dora, and the player chase value and Pong this Nan, discard 1S, that means this player will never get to win. I won't say never, but it will be a totally failed strategy to send signals because one more Dora, you Pong Nan with a Haku, your hand becomes 5.2k. Kamicha will not able to assist you anymore. Sometimes when you play your hand, it is good to be one-dimensional. Right? When you want your opponent to know what you are doing, it's good to be one-dimensional. And luckily for this player, it happens that his one-dimensional way of playing did not get him a higher hand value, and that's how he managed to avoid last. And he probably doesn't know that this avoiding last was due to Sashikomi rather than his own ability. Sometimes some of the games you win or some of the games you lose, you actually do not know the players that is pulling the string behind your back. This kind of skills actually is more prevalent in Throne Room among Celestial players. A lot of players are not very used to trying to apply this strategy because it's very difficult to identify the correct strategy to apply in, but it's extremely important. This is how you make or break in Throne Room, or if you're in Ho-Ho, this is what you make or break as a 7 dan to 8 dan. In Ho-Ho, a lot of players are actually very well versed in this kind of strategy so that they can all avoid last very well. Once one player sinks, all other 3 players will be in synergy to ensure that they go fast hand, ensure that this last player remain last, this kind of thing. A lot of strategic alliance happen if you did not learn this strategy, and you'll start wondering, why can't you win? Why is it that when it's my Oya, I could not win at all? Sometimes you will feel that I tried to go the fastest when I was Oya, but some player will do into another player, and then I end up getting last. After this video, I hope that you know that the game is very deep. I hope that it gives you a new insights of how Mahjong is played, and that sometimes your outcome, your win and your loss, is sadly not by your effort. If you are not aware of it, you could be just someone else's puppet to gain the outcome. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are an expert and below, I recommend you not to learn this. If you want to learn this, you have to be very, very comfortable with assessing hand values. You have to know the scores inside out. So I would say, minimally, you need to be sane to learn this. Remember to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next strategic video. Oyas is in Tushan 10. Alright, not so good, but at least have one Dora. Your rival has a very strong Ishan 10 hand. So imagine that this strategy is not used. It's almost certain that you'll end up in second.